What's up, Planeswalkers? It's your boy K-Dog, back in Standard here with Jeskai Kicker. Yes, playing around with the Kicker some more. So obviously we still got our Roost of Drakes 4 of package here. Enchantment, if it's kicked, you get a 2/2 blue Drake creature token with flying. And whenever you cast a kick spell, you get a 2/2 Drake with flying as well. Also running 3 copies here of Jace. Definitely feel like that's the sweet spot here. 3 mana, 4 loyalty Planeswalker. You also kick it for additional 2 to get additional Jace that has a loyalty of 1. +1, scry 2. 0, draw a card, reveal it, remove a number of counters equal to that card's converted mana cost from Jace. Alright, so for kicker here, we got a Kitesail Cleric. It's a 1 mana 1/1 flyer, so not a bad threat if that's your turn 1 play and just kind of start chipping away at damage in the air. Nice evasive threat. You can also kick this for additional 2 and white to tap up to 2 target creatures when it comes into play. Then you start crashing it with some of your other creatures. We also have Into the Roil, which is also one of the better things you could be doing in Kicker, being able to bounce anything back to your opponent's hand, draw a card at the same time, maybe make some Drakes if you have a Roost out. 3 copies of Sea Gate Stormcaller, trying to get some value off of our other spells here whenever it does have Kicker, but we're like never actually going to kick this. It's more in here just to play as a 2 mana 2/1 and then copy the spell that we play after it, such as Roil Eruption. Being able to deal 3 damage to any target is fantastic. And if you can kick this, you can do 5 damage instead. Kicker is pretty expensive, but it is 5 colorless, so it's pretty flexible, so 6 plus red. Very easy on the mana cost, but by the time you get to 7 mana, you'll pretty much have all the colors you need anyway. But yeah, nice spell to copy with the Stormcaller. Hit your creatures, planeswalkers, your opponent's face. 3 copies of Thundering Rebuke, just some good removal. 4 damage to a creature or a planeswalker. Coralhelm Chronicler. Not a big fan of this card, but it is pretty interesting just for its Into the Battlefield effect, being able to dig 5 cards deep for a kicker spell and put it into your hand. Whenever you cast a kick spell, you draw and discard a card. If that were a May ability, I would love this card, but the fact that you have to could be a little awkward sometimes, but I still think it's worth running too. And this particular list here in Jeskai, we have some sweet synergy to actually get value off cards off of our graveyard. So 3 copies here of Field Research. Wasn't really the biggest fan of this card when I saw it. It just seems like kind of like not really good value for what it does. But in a kicker list is actually pretty good because 3 mana to draw 2 cards is pretty standard rate for this type of effect. The kicker for 6 to draw 3 instead is not very good. But then when you draw the 3 cards and you get some Drakes off of it, then all of a sudden that's not too bad. All right, so now we got our ways to get spells back from our graveyard. So we got 3 copies here of Lore Drakkis. 2/3 for 3. We can mutate it for just 2 mana. Hybrid blue-red. Whenever it mutates, return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. And then we got 3 copies here of the Vadrok, Apex of Thunder. Love this alternate artwork here. 3 mana, 3/3, flying, first strike. You can also mutate it for 4 mana. Whenever it mutates, you can cast a non-creature card with mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. So we got our Jace, which is 3 mana or less. Field Research, 3 mana or less. Roil Eruption, Thundering Rebuke, Into the Roil. All fantastic. Roost of Drakes as well. And if you have open mana, you can actually kick it as well. Because it is a cast. You are casting that spell without paying its mana cost. You don't have to pay its natural cost, but you can pay the kicker cost as well and still get that kicker effect. Final here, we got 2 copies of Inscription of Insight. Just the versatility here is pretty nice. Obviously, it doesn't synergize with our Vadrok, but we still potentially get it back with like a Lore Drakkis. But mostly it's here just to draw cards. If we need to, we can bounce stuff back to our opponent's hand. And if we got a decent number of cards in our hand, we can just draw or create an XX for X number of equal to number of cards in our hand. And of course, we get up to 8 mana. We can kick it and get all 3 of these effects. It's not doing anything cute with the spell downs. We're just keeping it simple with a mana base here. 1 plane, 4 island, 1 mountain, 2 Temple Enlightenment, 4 Riverglide Pathway, 2 Temple Epiphany, 4 Needleverge Pathway, 2 Temple Triumph, 4 of the Jeskai Triome. So good number of tap lands, but we do need all the fixing here. Vadrok is exactly 1 of each color and things like that. So we want to make sure that we can do whatever we want to do when we want to do it. Sideboard, we got 2 copies of Soulguide Lantern for our graveyard interaction, 3 Negates for the control matchup, 2 Cinderclasm for go-wide strategies, 2 Mystical Disputes for the Rogue, Mill, Dimir matchups, 2 Phoenix of Ash for Mill, Elspeth for Mill as well, and Shatter the Sky for other go-wide type strategies. Kind of depends. We might need Cinderclasm and Shatter the Sky. Cinderclasm, of course, works great against the Scoot Swarm in particular. And then Shatter the Sky is kind of a catch-all, just destroy everything. And since we're leaning mostly on our Drakes to kind of get value off of creature effects, we don't necessarily mind blowing up the board because we can just make more Drakes. But we do have our Lore Drakkis and Vadrok as well, but depending on the matchup, might just slow roll these and yeah, just Shatter the Sky first before we play them. But we'll see. Jump into some matches. Alright, against Generic Boy, and we get to go first. This hand seems beautiful. Let's keep it. Double Roost, 3 lands, all the colors. Just need to temples, maybe scry into a land here. Let's get up to 4. We can play Stormcaller and then maybe kick it to blow up 2 things. That's the dream anyway. Turn 2 Roost of Drakes. Maybe save the other one for a kicker. See what our opponent is up to and what we draw here. Alright, Temple. Don't need a second Stormcaller just yet, so we'll bottom that. Island. We found a blue source. Yeah, we don't need it on red, so we're going to play... I think we'll just play both Roost of Drakes here. And yeah, we'll see what our opponent is up to. If it's just mono blue. Is it? Okay. Some kind of a draw 2. Uh-oh. Is that spell? So probably like Sprite Dragons and things like that. Well, unfortunately, most of our removal, Roil Eruption and Thundering Rebuke, are both at sorcery speed, so we're not going to have good ways to deal with the Riddle form. So that's going to be a bit of a pain. I get the Riddle form online right here. So hopefully they just play like a Sprite Dragon and we can blow it up with Thundering Rebuke, maybe something else. Yeah, this Riddle form is going to be a bit of a pain until we can kind of throw some creatures down in front of it. Don't have a whole lot of instant speed interaction. Could be Scorching Dragonfire instead of Thundering Rebuke, but then it feels kind of bad to run Scorching Dragonfire when we already have Roil Eruption. We're going to kick this just to get some Drakes online. It says up to, so we don't have to tap anything down. So 0. Alright. So 4 mana to get a 1/1 and 2 2/2s. Not bad. So having the Roost of Drakes here on those early turns was pretty nice. Okay, 2 red manas open. They probably have a you know, Shock, Scorching Dragonfire or something. Okay. Sure, it's not that hard to pick a target here. So lose a Drake. We have 3 power to block their Riddle form, but they probably have a way to deal with one of our creatures here. Four cards in hand though, so maybe. Looking at our Roost of Drakes. Oh no. Nothing from our opponent. Well, we're going to stay back on defense here. Try to. Temple is not ideal, but can scry us at least. Try to find some more kick. Kick that next turn. Seems pretty good. We'll stay back on defense here. Force them to come up with some answers. We're generally a little bit slower deck, especially the way this game is unfolded, so we'll just play it patiently. Well, they could have enough card draw to where they could definitely keep up with us in the late game, but we got our Jace coming down, making two more Drake tokens. Plus making a copy of himself, so we're not in a bad spot. Good jump block here just to do so. We could also save it to block the Brazen Borrower. Alright, Needleverge. Well, white's kind of our splash card. We already have double white anyway. So we'll just yeah, kick our Jace here. Nice if our opponent just had like creatures that we could actually kill with the Thundering Rebuke instead of the stupid riddle form that we can't interact with. But now we're back to a bunch of creatures online, so we'll see. They could have some shocks or dragonfires to deal with our planeswalkers. One, two, three, four, five, six. I mean, probably want more lands. We'll bottom the inscription for now. We'll just draw the land. We already played a land for turn. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll have 7 mana open to us next turn. Okay, they have something here, instant speed. So Dragonfire on our bigger Jace. Okay, so I have 2 Jace to answer and these creatures, so missing double blue for Brazen Borrower. You gonna say yes? Okay. You got their riddle form number 1 is online. It's definitely giving us some problems. But I mean, we have ways of making flyers, and we have our, our Vadrok if we can find it. Yeah, we're gonna go in on blocking this riddle form. I'm not sure that's worth it for them, but maybe it is. So if they blow up one of our tokens here, we can still kill the riddle form unless they have double shock or something. No, just want to throw your riddle form away. Kill the cleric and a drake. I guess you could shock and blow up both, but if you have a shock, why not just kill a planeswalker directly? Yeah, I'm not really sure what their game plan is here. Because they just wanted us to commit to blocks first, see what we would do. Maybe they thought we would take it. We still have a Jace online, so not terrible. They do have double shock, but they go for our planeswalkers. Well, our Vadrok can actually get the Jace back, so that's something. We gotta get rid of 1 riddle form here at the cost of 2 creatures. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5. This costs 7 to kick. I think we're gonna kick this just to get some drakes. They're down to 1 card plus whatever they top deck here, so we'll start swinging in. We get 2 drakes that can block our riddle form. It's definitely an awkward matchup for us, and we have some good answers with our flyers. There's a Lore Drakkis. We have a planeswalker and a creature. Alright, we'll attack with the Stormcaller. Why are you looking at your Brazen Borrower, bruh? You don't have blue. You gonna shock a Drake? Oh, you have another one. That's cute. Well, they made it a creature now? Yeah, I'll take that action. I mean, we got 2 Drakes out of it. We got a way to kill the riddle form out of it. Absolutely. Opponent doing me a huge solid there. Do we mutate? This might as well. We're kind of running low on cards here. I could kill it in response. And they do. I mean, And they killed the 2/2 and not the 2/3. They didn't want us getting the card back. But we don't even have targets for our Thundering Rebuke. Wow, getting a 6/6 here. Man, this game has been super frustrating, not being able to get our pieces lined up right. And we help them dig for more blue manas. Alright, field research. We can find a refill, make a bunch of 2/2s. Alright, now we're finally getting somewhere. We'll keep. Yeah, stay back. Alright, so we can Sea Gate Stormcaller and copy Roil Eruption, deal 6 to this token. So now they have blue to play a Brazen Borrower. See if they want to opt instead. Or if they want to attack, then yeah, we'll just throw everything in front of their 6/6. It's fine. The tokens are basically free for me, so we're in a good spot to attack here. So we'll just trade resources. Into the Roil on Brazen Borrower isn't ideal, but they choose not to hold open blue for Brazen Borrower. They just want to opt instead. Not sure what they're looking for. Umara Mystic. We'll rebuke that. One, two, three, four, five, six. We'll just hold up Into the Roil. Obviously, bouncing a Brazen Borrower isn't ideal. Just another land. Now they find their blue mana. Might just castle Vantress here. Ooh, Vadrok is pretty sexy. And they can't do anything about it. Take a 3/3 flying for a striker, please. Return instant or sorcery card from the graveyard to your hand. We'll take a field research. We'll play Jace. Should be able to kick it. Yes. Auto pay. Oh! Oh, that's value right there, everybody. Woo! Alright, we had some pretty awkward moments there, but we're doing things. We are doing things. Oh yeah, now we're cooking with fire, baby. Alright, scrap. Probably don't need that. Lore Drakkis. I think we'll bottom that actually. Scry again. Having the loyalty high against a damage-based deck seems fine. Rebuke. We'll keep Rebuke in case they top deck some other threat. Alright, we'll get to cracking here. Gonna flash in a Brazen Borrower. Got first strike here. Yeah, you got it. Gonna block? No blocks. Alright. Save the Roil Eruption, maybe we can get some kicker value off of it. Well, we got tokens now. We can block your Brazen Bar if you want to go after my Jace. Smart. Let's fire off the Thundering Rebuke. Just try to keep their board clear. No response. We'll swing all out. We're going to field research and make some more Drakes. If they want to trade, they're more than welcome to. You got it. Wow, they just flashed in during combat just to take damage. I think they too appreciate just how obnoxious that animation is. Draw land. 1, 2, 3. We have 6 lands exactly, so we'll just field research here. Wait, let's just go ahead and kick it, and we'll just scry with the other one. Seems pretty good. Bottom 2 lands. I think we'll play the Triome here. Give us as many options next turn. We don't really need the card draw, the cycling effect, if you will. Yeah. So, Jeskai Kicker against Izzet spells. Cinderclasms don't really do much against their Sea Gate, or the, not Sea Gate, but the Riddle form. Negate is interesting. Still need the removal here. I'm not sure Negate is worth it in this matchup. Soul Guide Lantern is cute for the experimental overload. Not sure it's worth it though. I mean, they did it anyways, and they definitely had us on our heels there, but we were able to kind of grind back into it. So we'll just trust that we can do it again. And if we struggle here in game 2, we have game 3 going for us since we won game 1. So we'll just kind of put it on them to come up with a sideboard plan. Of course, Izzet spells going first is going to give them a huge advantage. I'm assuming they're running Sprite Dragons and things like that, though we didn't see any. Obviously saw Brazen Borrower and Riddle form and Umara Mystic, so maybe they're just kind of a budget or janky. Well, I mean, Sprite Dragon's an uncommon, so it's pretty budget friendly already. I don't know, maybe they're trying to do something different. Well, we have all 3 of our colors. I guess we can keep it. A little slow. Not much removal. We have card draw and a Vadrok. So we're running 3 total. I think we can run it out even knowing that they might have a answer for it. Well, we'll see. You can also just run out the Coralhelm Chronicler. Alright, nothing from our opponents. They're holding up. I'm pretty sure that they would be on Brazen Borrower or Scorching Dragonfire here. I'm not sure why they're holding that up. Okay, opt, that makes sense. Also be opt shock. Saving shocks for creature tokens. Play you on white. Probably just play Vadrok, maybe. Could just play Chronicler as well, just draw a card. Make him use some removal on that. Now they have double blue for Brazen Borrowers. Yeah, still play that on white. Chronicler, come on down, draw me a card. I'm actually kind of happy if they kill us, because I don't really, like I talked about in the intro, I don't really care for the forced draw and discard on this thing, but being able to draw a card when it comes in, like that, feels pretty good. So yeah, let them use the removal on my Chroniclers. Actually doing me a favor. Could just bounce it too. Which would be kind of awkward because we'd have to discard. But we'd get another enter the battlefield trigger. So Scorching Dragonfire, which we expected them to have. So yeah, let's try to get these Chroniclers out first. Try to get their interaction out. And then we can try to resolve a Vadrok. Opponent finding all their manas this turn. Yeah, Chronicler, and then we'll Temple after we draw here. I don't expect to run in counter magic. Jace is pretty good. So we found exactly one kicker spell each time, so that's pretty good. And running just enough kicker to where it actually makes sense. I'd actually rather find something else. So if we find a land, we could Jace. Otherwise, maybe we just get our Roost online. Could have killed that at any point. We were basically tapped out. Okay, playing the Brazen Borrower just as a threat. Just trying to put the clock on us. 2 cards in hand. Oh, we'll kick our Roost of Drakes, make them have a removal spell for the token. They're getting in there. Oh, we're missing the blue. We are missing the blue. That sucks. Boy, Vadrok, get some removal out of them. If they don't have removal, then we've got a fantastic blocker. Might need to field research just to find lands. Feels bad though. Our opponent's kind of flooding out a little bit. No attacks. I'm not sure if we've seen if they're aware of first strike. I'll go and play it down here. So no attacks. Could mutate, but there's nothing to mutate on. Unfortunately, we're stuck on blue mana. So they're going to get some scries and kind of fix their draw. So they're start putting themselves in a better position. So we need to kind of get some stuff online. Being stuck on blue mana is really costing us here. Weren't able to kick the Roost of Drakes. Can't really play out our hand the way we'd like to. So probably just fire off this field research just to dig through our deck. We already have a full grip of cards, but yeah, we just need some blue manas here. Seems like our opponent is maybe struggling a little bit. Do they leave Opt on top just to cast some Ops? Still no Spy Dragons, so I guess they're just not running it. Just Umara Mystic instead. Wow, we get 2 spells out of them to deal with this Vadrok. Stomp. Okay. Didn't see the Bone Crusher to the first game, makes sense. Finally get a crash in for a 3. Blue mana off the top untapped would be amazing. Oh, deck, you love me. I didn't realize how much you love me. Alright, blue manas. Yeah, let's kick it to make a token. Well, 2 tokens, I guess. Jace token and a Drake token. Alright, now we can start scrying, looking for probably just more lands, honestly. We have a Vadrok in hand, so we'll bottom. We'll 0, draw that land card. Alright. Now we've got our lands coming online, so... But they got a 3-1 in the air, and they've got a 4-3 that's ready to come down. So we're definitely not out of this yet. These adventure cards are pretty good. But we'd have another Vadrok in hand. Ooh, Blitz. And they can still Bone Crusher here. Oh, we can block their Brazen Borrower, see if they want to trade. They do. Well, neither one of these are good Into the Roil targets, unfortunately. Let's play the land they know about as blue, since that's kind of what we're looking for. Yeah, we'll scry. Ooh, those are both awesome cards. Unfortunately, I think we just have to play this for 3 mana. Feels pretty bad doing it this way, but I think we kind of have to. Alright. So we tapped out. We were most efficient plays there. We got 2 Roost of Drakes online. We kept our Jace alive from potential Bone Crusher Giant attack, even though we weren't able to make tokens. At least got their creature off the board, so they had to find some other way to deal with our Jace. Into the Roil. We have one in hand we're not really using. Inscription can kind of help us refill as we're going to be starting to dump our hand out here. Field Research. Could be spicy. Yeah, play it as a 3/3. See if you have interaction. Just hold open manas here. Go Into the Roil, our own Vadrok, if they have a... wow. So they are running counter magic. I've not seen anybody actually play that card. Well, we can mutate on top of a Drake if we can get one out. I'll just pass. Oh, that's cute. I mean, they can basically counter everything in our deck with that, but 3 mana to counter spells 3 or less just doesn't seem very good. Alright, since they don't want a good game, we'll let them attack first before we go to the Into the Roil. If you're not having a good time, just concede, dude. You don't gotta sit here and force yourself to play through it. Don't even have the mana to replay it. Alright. Could Stormcaller to rebuke 2 things next turn. That seems pretty good. So we'll just draw some cards, make some more Drakes. Yeah, I would say that's a good game. I would absolutely say that's a good game. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Keep all the things. I'll swing one. I'll block. You can block. You're at 20 life. Got a pretty good wall here. They are. Guess they figured they can't attack, so might as well block. I mean, you're at 20 life. I don't know why you would want to block there. Just take it. Yeah, we're in a pretty commanding spot here. So they are running Sprite Dragon. But not sure how many. I don't know about this Hypnotic Sprite though. That seems curious. I'm not sure what their plan is here. We'll just do one of each. Not sure where to put the second one. Wasn't really expecting them to attack. Okay, shock. Guess that makes sense. Roil Eruption's pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. Alright, we'll swing. Let's get the Kraken and Scry. Don't think we need either one of these, honestly. We already got our Stormcaller value. Opponent's down to 9. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We got 10 on board. Alright, well, they're not conceding. A Mystical Dispute. Plenty of lands. They could have a Cinderclasm or something. That would be pretty bad, but not the worst. They're just going to take it. Alright, good game. Whew. Alright, it's a pretty long first game, so a little pressed for time, so I think we're going to just kind of keep this one a little bit short. So, Jeskai Kicker. We'll go over the wrap up here in just a sec. All right, so Jeskai Kicker. Yeah, feels pretty good to me. It's definitely played really well in a variety of situations here. I definitely like the Vadrok Lore Drakkis package with all the kicker spells. Like we saw the Vadrok actually get Jace back, and then we were able to have additional mana to kick it. So we got the main casting cost, the one blue here for free, and then we kicked it for additional 2 mana. So all we had to pay was 2 mana to get a kick Jace with our Vadrok. That was pretty fantastic value. I think lots of good little interactive spells. Into the Roil is just such a versatile card, just fantastic to trigger our Roost of Drakes, and also draw you a card at the same time, which is pretty important because we want to cast lots of spells, have lots of cards in hand, and things like that. So Field Research, of course, synergizes extremely well with both of these creatures, as well along as our Roost of Drakes. So gotta love that value. So I'm definitely happy to run 3 copies. Chronicler, like I said, we have ways to get stuff out of our graveyard with Drakkis and Vadrok, so I don't necessarily mind discarding as much in this list. So definitely happy to run see this, but still think 2 copies is probably fine. 2 copies of Kitesail Cleric, just because it is a potentially a 1/1 threat that can kind of start chipping away against slower decks. And also just the kicker ability here as well. It's kind of white didn't really get any kicker support, so kind of forcing this just because it does have kicker on it, and it's a pretty decent card in general. Sideboard here, definitely not entirely sure this is right, but definitely feel like it gives us answers to kind of the matchups you're likely to see with the escape decks, or not escape, but having escape against like the rogue and mill type strategies. So Phoenix. We're already running a bunch of flyers as it is, so having a hasty threat and only exiles 3 other cards. So even though we're trying to potentially get value off of our Drakkis and Vadrok, we're only exiling 3 cards with this one to get it back with escape, and even Elspeth is only exiles 4 cards, so we can still potentially exile things and still keep that 1 or 2 relevant spells that we might want to get back later. So that's pretty sweet. And then obviously the Negates and Mystical Dispute package can be pretty helpful in those kind of controlling matchups as well. Still need some graveyard hate. There's just lots of, with all the mill run around, everyone's kind of doing escape or other ways to kind of take advantage of having stuff in their graveyard. So you need kind of ways to deal with that. So Soul Guide is generally your best bet, especially if you don't have access to like Scavenged Ooze and things like that. So yeah. Kicker, definitely a lot of fun playing around with it. There's only so much you can do, but definitely want to kind of keep exploring at the Grixis and now Jeskai. So obviously colors you typically associate with control, and it's kind of how these decks play a little bit as anyways, kind of pretty mid-rangey and slow. But once we take over the game and stabilize, we have plenty of card draw to kind of keep refilling and get value off our Roost of Drakes, and then we've got our Planeswalker package as well to kind of help us scry and draw cards as well. Like having to kick Jace and having the 2 copies that can scry and draw cards off each other, lands or cheap spells that you can kick for higher costing costs. Pretty fantastic value. And then the Drakkis and Vadrok definitely pretty spicy. So when I was kind of looking at what else you could do with kicker, I was pretty disappointed at the lack of support in white. There's like this and like one other card that doesn't really seem playable to me. So I just wanted the 2 copies of Cleric, and I was trying to figure out what else would synergize. And yeah, I mean, these cards are pretty awesome. Definitely. They've seen some play here and there, but generally haven't seen a ton of play since Mutate. Simic has kind of been the default Mutate color, especially now with Scoot Swarm and those types of shenanigans. But Vadrok is definitely a sweet card, and Drakkis is not bad either. 3 mana 2/3 isn't anything to write home about, but being able to mutate just for 2 mana and get that value, that's pretty sweet. So yeah. If you have any suggestions on maybe cards that could be included in this as well, you're welcome to put those in the comments. Otherwise, until next time, make sure you guys drink with a purpose.